Meta ads, or formerly known as Facebook ads, can be one of the best ways to really scale your business. I like to compare it to like the casino, right? The only difference in the casino, there's a very, very high chance that you will lose the money. Where in meta ads, once you've done a few testing, once you found that winning ad, it is a license to print money. And in this video, I'm gonna be showing you some of the biggest mistakes that a lot of people do when it comes to running their ads and in the way that set it up. Because even one little thing that Meta recommends you to click can show your ad to the wrong person. It can show your ad to someone who lives literally across the country, and then you'll be stuck wondering why are you getting these type of leads, and you're going to be blaming Meta that Meta does not work, and you're never going to use Meta, and your competition in your local area who've mastered Meta ads are going to be the one who are winning because they did the same mistake as you did. And here's the thing, Meta does this a lot. So my name is Jorge Mateo. I am founder of Canine Conversions, the go-to agency to scaling your business. I'm here to get you more leads, more clients, increase your revenue, and make an impact in your dog training business. And in this YouTube video, I'm going to show you another banger that can save you hundreds and not thousands of thousands and make you hundreds of thousands of dollars simply by avoiding these mistakes. Let's dive right into it. All right, so there's a few things that I want to address here when it comes to running ads on Meta, because one of the things, if you choose the wrong objective, if you choose the wrong thing, you're going to be spending so much money. And let's be real, when it comes to Meta ads, I am the best of the best. No one comes near me in this industry, and I don't care what anybody says, I know how to get results. And this is based on what our clients are saying, and everyone who's just absolutely crushing it with us, they're like, Jorge is the guy that's touching my ads. And listen, I've had clients for years, we've invested millions and millions of dollars on advertising here on Meta. So it's like, I know what I'm doing. All right. I'm the category king when it comes to Meta ads. So I'm going to show you how to save so much money. That way you actually get results and you don't get discouraged whenever you start running ads for the very first time, because that is something that happens quite often. And usually what happens is business owners come in here, try to run some ads, and then, they choose the wrong thing. They don't get the results. And then they're like, Meta ads don't work, or it's a scam, whatever they decide, excuse they want to make up. Then, what I'm going to be doing is making sure that you get the right results. Okay. So first things first, if this is brand new to you, this right here is called the Ads Manager, and this is where we run the ads. Okay. If it looks familiar to you, then congratulations. You actually took the step of trying to run your own ads, and I give you props for that. Okay. I really, really do. So here's the thing. All right. Whenever we're creating a campaign, which this is just a dummy campaign, that I have, we want to choose the right objective, because what happens is, a lot of the times people, they're like, oh, I want traffic to my website, right? But then they click on traffic. And what happens is, traffics are, usually people who, like to click on links, but never take any kind of action. And of course, we want people to take action. We want people to buy from us. We want people to become a lead, right? So making sure that you choose the right objective is super important, and that will determine the performance of your campaign. So the beautiful thing about all this is that Meta gives you some sort of description. So if I click on awareness, it says show your ad. If you see on the right side, show your ad that people who are most likely to remember them. All right. Good for reach, brand awareness, and video views. Traffic. Send people to a destination like your website, app, Instagram profile, or Facebook event, right? So it's like link clicks, landing page views, Instagram profile visits, Messenger, Instagram, WhatsApp calls. There's engagement, there's leads, there's ad promotion, and there's sales. I'm not going to go into each and one of these, but what I'm going to be doing for you is that first things first is really depending on what you want to do. All right. So if you want to run ads to your website, then I will tell you this, all right? You're not going to get the exact same results if you were to run ads to a funnel. The reason is because whenever you're running ads to a website, there's just so many distractions. There's call to action. There's an about me page. There's, all the packages, all the pricing, about me, like literally there's contact. There's so many distractions, right? So whenever we're running ads from Meta, all right, we just have to have less friction as possible. The less friction that we can have, the more we can direct them into where we want them to go, which is for them to convert into a lead or into a purchase, which I highly recommend a lead first. All right. there's a whole video about the process of getting someone to buy from you. I'm not going to go over this right now, because if not, we're going to be spending here another 30 minutes. And what I want to do is I just want to show you what to look for whenever you're setting this up and what not to look for. Okay, so the majority of them, all right, whenever we run ads for all our clients, is we like to choose leads. All right, do not click on traffic. Those are people who like to read blogs. When it comes to engagements, it's like really depending on what advertising strategy, but the majority of it is some sort of leads. All right, don't click on sales either. All right, of course we want people to become, to convert, but it's, it's pretty difficult to get someone who has never, heard of you, have no idea who you are, to invest in a $2,000 board and train package on you, right? So it's like, we need a system, right? So what I'm trying to say is, like, you don't want to necessarily click on sales, try to get a sale for one of your main packages. Like, it just doesn't work like that. You can spend, up to, $1,000 and you're not gonna get $2,000 and you're not gonna even break even. And I know this because, to give you perspective, whenever I'm running ads to a digital product of $17, it usually costs me $100 to $120 to acquire one $17 sale. But the reason why we're able to do that, and we'll do that trade every day, all day, twice on Sunday, is because we have upsells in the back and we're profitable in the back. So even though we're not profitable in the front, we're profitable in the back, and that front end offer is just what we call a bait, right? Or some sort of like low ticket offer. But in this case, what we want to do is we want to get you paid more, right? We want people to buy one of your day train packages, or buy one of your board and trains, private lessons, group classes, whatever you're offering. We want to make sure that we get people to buy, right? But don't click on sales. That is another thing that a lot of people do. All right, so you want to click on leads, because what you want to do is you want to capture the name, email, and phone number. After that is where you call them up, you fact find them, and then you set them up in your eval, whether if it's paid or it's free. You can set them up. Okay. Again, I'm not gonna go into the entire. I'm not gonna go too much in detail when it comes to like the entire system. I got other videos where I talk about that here on my YouTube channel. But for here is leads. Okay. So I'm gonna click on continue. So when you're here, this is where we're setting everything up. All right. This is the campaign name. I'm not going to set everything up right here from scratch. I'll have other videos where I show you how to do that. But the reason why I'm making this video is because, one, we want to make sure that you're clicking on the right objective, and two, making sure that you're not clicking on yes to everything that Meta is, saying, right? So like here, I would recommend, unchecking this and then asset budget, meaning that you can control your budget on the next page. Okay, that's pretty much it right here. Here, this is super important. Okay, so you want to make sure that you click on website, which if you have a funnel, then this is what you want to do. If you're doing instant forms, and that's fine. That's another way we can run ads. We like to have some sort of funnel page in order to collect those emails, right? So either or, really depends on what strategy you're using. Honestly, both work great. When it comes to me running ads for my agency, like I use instant forms. For all our clients who are dog trainers, we like to use websites, right? Not necessarily their actual website, but we create them a funnel page. All right, but here's the thing. All right, I'm gonna scroll down. If you run any ads before, then you're probably seeing this. All right, you put the daily budget. This is where I really want to talk about. Okay, so right here, all right, Advantage Plus is on. All right, be very careful with this. This is one of those things that a lot of people who are running local ads, do not know about this, and then they just spend so much money on ads, or even a little bit of money on ads, and then they're getting leads from people outside of their area. They're getting leads from people outside of their state, right? So you want to make sure that you're very careful. So one of the things that we always do whenever we're launching ads for all our clients is that we're clicking on further limit the reach of your ads. Okay, this is what we want to do. Okay, because if we don't do that, then we're telling Meta, hey, you have full control of where the ads are going to be, and then it's going to start looking for people who are getting you the most amount of leads, even if they're not in your service area. So you want to be very careful with that. So you want to click on that, and then you want to click on further limit your reach on ads. All right, cool. So now that you're here, all right, now we have a little bit more control over where we want the ads to be shown. Okay, so for example, let's say you're running ads in San Diego. All right, you could put San Diego, California. You could put a city, right? You could put a mile radius. You can put, you can put current city. You can put San Diego County. It really depends on how big you want your market to be. Okay, so that's pretty standard. But one thing that you want to be very, very, very careful is this right here. So it says reach more people likely to respond. Okay, so what does this mean? All right, when you unclick on it, let's see what happens. When you unclick it, it says reach let's see 6.7% lower cost per result. A lot of people may say this. I'm like, oh no, I want higher results, so they click on that, right? But what you're telling here, Meta, is you want the ad to be shown to people who are shown some sort of interest of San Diego, even though they don't live in San Diego. So for example, I live in Florida, in South Florida, Miami, okay? And I visit San Diego a lot. So whenever I start looking at flight tickets and if I'm looking at hotels and stuff like that, then what happens is I'm starting getting targeted with some San Diego ads. Even though I'm literally on the other side of the country, I'm getting those ads. And the reason why is because whoever's running those ads did not click on this. So that's another big mistake, all right? People make, all right? And then you want to click on that. And again, you just want to make sure that you unclick on that. It's funny. I remember I had one client who started bitching and complaining because they're like, "Oh, why are you clicking on this? Don't you want to get me a lower cost per result?" And he started complaining. I mean, this guy complains about everything, and he literally started complaining and going off on my team simply because we unchecked this and he saw this, bro. This guy doesn't even know shit about ads, and he's already here telling us what to do. Like don't be that guy. Like literally, just don't be that guy. Okay, that's the guy who's miserable at life and doesn't understand anything and complains everything about life. And I don't know about you guys, but that is not a good way to live. All right, so don't be that guy. So you want to make sure that you want to uncheck this. Okay, and yeah, you may see your audience size go smaller, but you know what? That is fine, because since we're running local ads, we want to have absolutely full control over that. Okay, and then let's go to age, because sometimes age has this as well. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Okay, so this ad account they don't. So let's say, for example, when it comes to age, I like to tell all my clients, hey, look at the campaign, look at your past clients and tell me, what age group are they usually from? Sometimes they a lot of people like to leave it open, right? But let's say, for example, usually for our clientele, a lot of them like anywhere from 35 to 60. Like that's usually the sweet spot where people buy. Okay, but then here, what do you see? You see that use a suggestion. So we'll also reach people beyond the age range when it's likely to improve performance, meaning that, hey, your ad may be shown, maybe going really, really good, but then it starts plateauing, which is normal because we're running local ads. So we have to exchange ads more frequently. So then what happens, the cost police starts going high, and then Meta starts showing your ad for people who are 18, 19, 20 years old, just because it wants you to get you a lower cost per result, even though that's not your clientele. That's not who you want to target. So when you have this on, that's essentially what's happening, right? And guess what? That other guy started complaining of this because we had this unchecked. Usually they have like a score here, and he just started, he just started complaining because the score was low. No. So you want to make sure that this right here is off, because now you have full control. So you start seeing that your estimated audience size just went down, right? We click on that, bam, it went high. But these are not the people who we want. We want to have full control over everything. So meaning that my ad is going to be shown in the city of San Diego, who are for people who are at the age of 35 and 60. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Actually no, that's not it. Okay, so you want to make sure that you unclick on this. All right, so very, very important, okay, that you click on that, all right, because it's just going to be shown, all right, to your people who you do not want the ad to be shown, all right. So then let's go to the next one, because this one right here has been really kind of, it's been, kind of getting me mad, frustrated a little. Let me actually go over here. Let me actually click on something else, okay. I'm gonna click on website. I'm gonna click on. All right, I'm just gonna click on Canine Conversions. All right, cool. So whenever it comes to, there you go, add creatives, add video. I'm just gonna click on a video, okay? Upload, download. Let's see, I created a bunch of ads yesterday. I'm just gonna click on this one, for example. Click on next. I'm gonna leave this empty right now. So here's the thing. This is where I want to show you, okay? So when it comes to enhancements, a lot of the time it's gonna have this on. You just want to make sure that everything is off. The reason why is because every person who run ads and been running ads for a very long time absolutely hates these features on Meta right now. Like right now Meta's being a little annoying. I'm not gonna lie, but it's like sometimes they turn all of these on and we don't want them on. It's just gonna make the ad it's gonna change the ad and we don't want it to change the ad. All right, cool. And then okay, so here we're good here. And then sometimes what happens, as you can see, the campaign score is 86. He started complaining because it wasn't 100. But yeah, so here sometimes what happens is it'll automatically choose like 10 other campaigns or 10 other, sorry, not campaigns, but like ads for you or videos, whatever you decide to choose, right? Video or images, but it'll choose other ones. You want to make sure that you also unclick that, because let's say you run ads for, free evaluation, but in the past you ran ads for like, selling leashes, for example. Meaning if you do not unclick that, even though your offer is a free evaluation, Meta's going to be showing your ad for leashes as well, right? So you want to make sure that everything is off right there. So those are the three main things. It's like, one, you want to make sure that, all the enhancements are off. You want to make sure that whenever this pops up with like a bunch of different, videos or images, you want to make sure that that is off, and you know because right here, like we see that it's the same video. This is a good sign. Okay, this is a good sign. It's the same video. Okay, you want to make sure that when you're going down here, that this right here is off for the age, and when you click on it, that this right here is off as well. All right, remember, we're running local ads. If you have an online dog training, course, and you're targeting all of the U.S. or all of Canada or all over the world, wherever you're at, it's fine to keep all those on. But since we're running ads locally and we only want people near our place or where we go or live or have our facility, we want to make sure that we have absolute full control over that. If not, you're just going to get frustrated because you're getting leads outside of your service area, and then you're going to say, hey, these, Meta sucks. There's no, the quality sucks, and you're never going to want to use Meta again, and then you're just gonna never gonna try to master something that can literally print you money. Like this right here is like way better than the casino, because the casino you put money and then like there's this 0.001, don't quote me on this, but there's a very low percentage chance of you getting something. Here, once you mastered it and once you've gone through those testing phases, you're going to see that you're going to see that this right here is a license to print money. That for every dollar that you put in, you can get $4 or $5 back. And that is what our clients get, So hope this video helped. Again, this is not a video when it comes to setting anything up or setting the entire campaign. Like I have videos for that. I have videos for the whole systems that we use to increase the chances of getting sales. Like what this is something where, Meta has been pushing. And I just want to make sure that I created a video to make sure that you guys are not going through the exact same thing. Oh, and one last thing too. This is where Meta can get a little tricky, all right, and a little sus. What happens is there's been some times, and we've noticed this, where Meta will automatically choose this for you even though the ads have been on for a while. So be very, very careful. So one of the things that we have, part of my SOP for my team, something that they have to do is whenever they're managing the accounts, because we go in there and we manage the accounts on a daily basis. We are not the type of agencies that just launch their ads and go and watch them once a week. No, on a daily basis, we look at the campaigns. And every Monday, every Wednesday, and every Friday, we have to go in here and we have to make sure that Meta did not automatically, click this for us without us letting us know, because they don't let us know, and you'll maybe start noticing if all of a sudden you're getting leads outside of your local area. Now, one thing I do want to be fully transparent, okay? And one thing that I do want you to understand is that you may get people outside of your local area, okay? And here's the reason why. It's because if your ad is good, people are going to share it. So my family lives in California. If they see an ad and they share it, that means because I am friends with them on Facebook, that means that I am going to see the ad in my area, even though I'm not in California, and that's because they shared it. So that's one reason. Or if someone's recently in the location, then they may see the ad for like a week or two, and then after that they won't see the ad again. Meaning, since I travel a lot to San Diego or to California, then anytime I come back home, I just see a bunch of San Diego ads for about a week, and then that's it, and that's just something that we cannot control anymore. That's something that Meta, unfortunately, took out that feature. I'm trying to see if they have it or not, but they took out a feature. Back then we were able to target people who lived or visited or was recently in that location, planning to visit. Like, not anymore. Now it's like people who live there or have recently lived there. That's something that's out of our control. So those are the main two reasons why you may, if Meta did not turn any of these features on, those are the main two reasons why you may still get leads outside of your local area. So hope this video helped. If you like it, just give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel, where we just we try to give a lot of education when it comes to your dog training business. I am the best of the best when it comes to Meta ads and building systems, and that's the reason why we're able to take trainers who have been working at Petco, so wanting to start their dog training business, but been dog trainers for years, help them start their own business and make $30,000 months. Imagine that, going from $30,000 months to $30,000 months, just being a 2-person operation, right? Him and his wife. Or we've taken other clients who's already crushing it, already been in the game for a while, making $15,000 months, jumping up all the way to like $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 a month. So that's exactly what we do here. So if you want those kind of results, if you want to see how we can help you, then right below this video, you're going to see a few links. One of them is going to be for a free transformation session, where we'll take a deep dive into your entire business, see where what part of the system you can use the most help on. We'll give you a free roadmap, and if you want to do business together, then we can definitely do business together afterwards. So hope this video helped you, and let's continue to train more dogs, save more dogs, and make sure that dogs live happy lives. I will see you in the next video. Ciao.